Hey guys, real quick before the video starts, I just kind of wanted to say this. It's my first video, so looks like I'm reading off a script because I am. In the first part of this, I was afraid that I'd sound like a turd or start cussing like a sailor, so just wanted to drop that. It'll get better, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Hey all, welcome to the channel from my art studio. You see, I've been quietly painting miniatures for 22 years, and in that time, expanded to the larger breadth of the art world. I've taken to the books and studied the old masters, pouring through the journals, sketches, and notebooks of the greatest artists in the history of the world. And with the number of requests, this channel is where I'll be showing you how to apply those techniques to not just miniature painting, but a wide variety of art mediums. I don't just want to teach people how to be mini painters. I want to help mini painters actually be artists. So let's go.
Follow me.
Before we hop straight into it, please drop a like and help support the channel by subscribing. This helps you know when the next video drops, makes it easier to find my channel, and also guys, it doesn't cost you anything and helps me out a ton. So if you could, subscribe and we'll get into it.
As far as realizing my passion for art, miniature painting is where it all began for me. It is as much a part of me as anything else. I made this channel simply for miniature painters wanting to move beyond the same old, and break their own barriers. Well, it all begins for me with 3 key principles to keep in mind during every project: intent, purpose, and perspective. These apply to any artist, regardless of your level of experience. And you're going to hear me reference these 3 things before I begin any project that I start. What do they mean?
Each of these questions need to be answered with each project, and it behooves you to keep these in mind as you continue with the work. Not only will this keep you focused and on track with your initial intentions, but it also helps prevent unnecessary stress.
It is stressing me out.
And concern over things that simply don't matter.
I don't think so.
As Da Vinci once stated, life is pretty simple. You do some stuff, most fails, some works, you do more of what works. To make an example of all this, for my first video, I wanted to include Gotrek. He's my favorite character from any of the Warhammer lore. As a slayer, he represents the unrelenting underdog, unstoppable when he puts his mind to task. This model is one for the game Warhammer Age of Sigmar by Games Workshop. This model also belongs to a client, but I've been given creative control over the model for this video. So now, we need to answer the 3 questions: intent, purpose, and perspective. Intent. I want to showcase my painting abilities in a short amount of time without under-delivering on the paint job for the client. Purpose. This is a game piece that's going to be viewed from far away, but also it's going to be inspected closely by friends of the client. Also, in the game, Gotrek is a powerful game character. By avoiding popping colors, we will allow the piece to avoid any unwanted attention beyond what it'll inevitably be receiving during the game itself. That will benefit the client himself. Perspective. Make it look good. Simple. Nothing special. We just need to make this model presentable.
Okay. And how do we do that?
Lastly, guys, I want to make my opinion clear about one thing in this hobby. It should be accessible for everyone. Notice I don't have hundreds of paints behind me, and even in this video, I won't be using an airbrush or any other bougie supplies. This is going to be done with basic Artist Loft brushes from a craft store and done in a way everyone can follow. So enjoy.
First, we want to make sure the model is cleaned and primed. This means ensuring that the model is free of mold lines and any other physical blemishes. Afterwards, we want to prime the model. Fortunately for me, black is never my first choice for priming. So using AK Ivory, I'm going to give it a dry brush to bring out the details. This simply just shows me the details, where all the little bits are, and also lightens up the canvas. I want to lighten it up so the colors which I put over the ivory appear brighter, rather than just slapping them over black, which can drown them out.
But the devil is in the details.
Who turned out the lights?
Next, we take our perennial color, AK Red Violet, and apply it as an undertone over all the skin. Let's take a moment to show what happens when you don't thin your paints. You get unwanted brush strokes, blotchiness, and unwanted texture. Ironically enough, we also get to see what happens when you use a lesser quality synthetic brush. If you look closely, you'll see where the bristles are literally falling out and getting stuck in the paint. Following our 3 principles, I want to continue working quickly, so I begin applying AK Burned Orange and AK Red Penetrating Ink over the hair. The brush was also splitting and, well, to the bin with it.
Send it.
Done. If you haven't noticed, AK Interactive is my personal paint preference, but this will vary with each one of you. It's important to experiment and find which paint works best for you because results will vary. I apply the burnt orange over the hair to create a good surface for the red hues of the ink to reflect from. I apply the burnt orange over the hair to create a good surface for the red hues of the ink to reflect from. I also water down the red ink to ensure it gets in all the deep crevices and areas of the canvas. As I move on, I apply AK Luminous Orange diluted with water to let it seep into the deep areas of the axe head. I want this area brighter for the fire lit within the axe itself. You also notice that I'm not being careful with much of my work thus far. This is okay. The faint orange will be painted over when the axe is completed. Next, I move into the pants. Using AK Strong Dark Blue and Ocean Blue, I blend and layer. But most importantly, I use a technique that's been around for ages, sfumato. This technique was first introduced by Leonardo da Vinci in the 15th century and most recently repopularized by the legend Bob Ross in his landscape paintings. We want to make sure you have a larger, soft bristle brush, and it must be completely dry and free of paint. If you must, clean it off, and like Bob said, beat the devil out of it to make
Just
sure it's
beat the
free of
devil out of
moisture. Then, begin dry brushing the model to get some nice blends without having to use a loaded brush. This is one of my favorite techniques in all of painting, and I use it regularly. I continue to paint the model using a blend of skin tones and layer the crap out of it to build up the opacity of the pigments. When I'm doing this, the paint is very thin and diluted with water. I do this to avoid getting any chunky textures or coarse gradations. I keep doing this and building up the colors of the model. Begin dry brushing the model
Then
to
you
get
blend
some
and
nice
blend
blends
and
without
blend.
having to use a loaded brush. This is one of my favorite techniques in all of painting, and I use it regularly. And after some finishing touches,
So guys, if you made it this far, know that there's already more content planned and on the way. I really hope that you guys come back and see some of the other stuff we got planned. Matter of fact, next step is going to show you how to be a little naughty. And well, I'm going to show you guys how to steal like a true artist. I'm really excited for that video, so again, if you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot and also really helps support this channel in its infancy. So until next time guys, take care.